future of the electric vehicle.
एक साल के अंदर पेट्रोल के गाड़ी के बराबर इलेक्ट्रिक गाड़ी की कीमत हो जाएगी।
ईवी सेक्टर का आगे बढ़ना तय है।
Hello, I'm Krishna. I'm here to present my submission, and this submission is for my 𝗍𝗃𝙯, which is about providing the insights for AV cells to our clients AtliQ Motors. So before jumping into the project, I have a quick question for you guys. So if the cost of EVs goes down, does it mean that it will easily adapted to Indian market? Well, even I thought so. But it turns out while I was reading this report by 𝗍𝙬𝙗𝙯, this report says that India has 4 cold start problems for getting into the EV market. And these are, so the first cold start problem is the lack of enough brand in EV sector, which is being shown this chart. Basically, this chart shows that we need more EV brands in the EV market. And the second one is the state of component in India, which is now being solving by the government policies and subsidies. So the third cold start problem is the state of charging in India. Here we need an aggregator platform to plot all these chargers and make it accessible to Indian customer. Here we need a lot of public charging stations. And the lastly, fourth cold start problem is, since we know that purchasing an EV is very costly, so there will be an financing option from NBFCs like Bajaj Finance and the banks like IDFC and SDFC Bank. So without doing any delay, let's dive into the project. So this is our agenda. Here we talk about the background of the company, problem statement, about the data and dashboard, and at the end we move the insights and the recommendation to AtliQ Motors. So let's dive into the background of the company. AtliQ Motors in USA is a big name. Is known for manufacturing electric vehicles, and they are doing very well in the North America, grabbing 25% market share in EV and hybrid segment all over the last 5 years. And in the North America, they are selling 4-wheelers, and these are their competitors like Tesla, Chevrolet, Ford, Hummer, and Jeep. And what the problem here? Because they want to expand their market share in Asian countries and India, which is the world 4th largest market share in automobile industry. Currently, AtliQ Motors market share in India is 2%. So to move smartly, the 𝗍𝙗𝙯, the head of AtliQ Motors India, want to dive deep in Indian EV market. For that, he hire a data analytics team. Here I come into the picture to helping them. So let's talk about the data that we have received. Here we have received 3 CSV files. One is the DIM date, and second is the sales by state, third is sales by customer. And these here we have data till April 2021 to March 2024, and these data were given by the Codebasics and taken from the Vahan Seva, which is Indian official website. And also they were provided with 10 primary question and 5 secondary questions. Using 10 primary questions, I created my dashboard, and secondary questions I take them into my site. So let's move on the dashboard. Welcome to the homepage, guys. This is our homepage. Here I added 2 views, first view and second view. When you click on this first view, you see that our first view's name is sales and analysis view, and this is our second view, which is nothing but growth and forecast view. So let's move on our first view by clicking on this button. So this is our sales view. Here I added 4 new card visual for total EV sold, revenue, penetration rate, and CAGR makers. For better comparison, here I also calculated the last year change percentage, and you can clearly see animation here. And this up arrow show that we are performing very well compared to the last year, and if there are the down arrow which show that we are performing less compared to the last year. And this ribbon chart show the quarterly trends for the top 5 EV makers, and this bar chart show that the top 5 state with the highest penetration rate. This donut chart show that the top 3 makers by sales, and here in the middle of donut chart I calculated a measure which show the sum of all these top 3 makers sales, and this donut chart is the bottom 3 makers by sales. This table show that which state is performing negative penetration rate, and here are something unique. Suppose you want to see the comparison between 2 states, you can do that here. Suppose I want to see the comparison between Karnataka and Jharkhand. So this multi-card view show the whole detail about the Karnataka and Jharkhand. You can clearly comparison between two states. And here I added the new slicer. In the new slicer, we can add the images which add something uniqueness in our dashboard. You can clearly see that here. Also added the last refresh date button. These are our fiscal year, and when you click on this icon, you can see a magic. These maps show the state-wise insights. When you click on any state, all details about that state are given here, like what is the revenue for this Rajasthan and CGR, and these multi-card show everything about that state. And when you click on this icon, this show the abbreviation which are used in our dashboard, like what the PCS mean is the public charging station, and RGR means revenue growth rate. So that's all about the sales view. Let's move on the revenue and forecast view by clicking on this icon. So this is our growth and forecast view. Here the new card visual and the slicer and the buttons are the same as the previous view. And this area chart shows the revenue by month. Here we compare the current revenue versus the last month revenue. And when you click on this sales button, you get the sales by monthly. Here we compare the currently total sales versus last month total sales. And this table show the top 10 state by penetration rate in 2013. Here we add the stats and the projected value for 2013 and the penetration rate. This table chart show the revenue growth rate by year on year. Here we added the stats and the revenue growth rate 2022 versus 2024 and the revenue growth rate 2023 to 2024. And also I added the conditional formatting in the bar. And this bar chart show the top 10 state with CAGR trends by sales. This donut chart show the revenue by vehicle category. And in the middle, this bar chart show the sales by vehicle category. When you click on this revenue by quarter, you get that quarter-wise revenue. And in the middle of this donut chart, I added a measure which gives the quarter who's performing very well in among all the quarters. Like quarter 4 get the highest revenue compared to the other quarters. When you click 2013, you get that quarter 3 get the highest revenue, and 2022 get the quarter 4 get the highest revenue, like in the 10 billion. Okay, so and this bar chart shows that top 5 makers by CAGR, and these are the slicer. When you click on the slicer, all the values change dynamically. Okay, so that's all about this dashboard, guys. Now let's move on the insights part, presenting the insights for the AtliQ Motors. So the first number insight is what are the primary reasons for the customer choosing four-wheeler EV in 2023 and 4. So first point is the lower running cost, because the charging an EV is cheaper than buying a petrol or diesel car, and also the cost goes down if we use the renewable energy and solar panel energy to charge our EV. And the second one is the low maintenance cost, because EV have very less parts that need to be regular fixing and changing compared to the regular cars, and also they need very less frequent services and repair that and directly save the money as well. And the third one is the zero emission, because EV don't release harmful gases and which help to reduce the pollution, and using green energy for charging their EV also make them more eco-friendly. And the fourth one is the tax and financial benefit, because EV usually have lower registration fees and road taxes, and some of the states like Karnataka having zero road taxes on EV, and there are various government incentives and discounts available depending on the state. So let's move on the insight number 2. How does the government incentive and subsidies impact the adoption rate of two-wheeler and four-wheeler, and which state in India are providing the most subsidy? So the government on EV adoption, because the government incentives like an NMEM scheme aimed at increasing EV adoption rate by 2020, and also the FAME India scheme have boosted EV development. Both the manufacturer and the consumer get benefited with 86% of 1,000 crore budget allocated to demand incentives. And also the government recently has extended the EMPS scheme to 2024 for the two-wheeler and the three-wheelers, or July 31st to 30 September 2024. And also the outlay was increased from 500 crore to 778 crore. And also the GST for the electric vehicles is reduced from 12% to 5%, and the EV charging station GST reduced from 18% to 5%. So the state who's having the highest subsidy. So according to my analysis, Maharashtra is the state who's having the highest subsidy. The state government has announced the subsidy up to 5 lakh on the purchase of electric vehicles, and in the Maharashtra subsidy per kilowatt is 5,000, and the maximum subsidy for is 25,000. So let's move on the inside number 3. How does the availability of charging station infrastructure correlate with the EV cells and the penetration rate in the top 5 states? So, see, the number of charging stations are closely connected. How many people use and purchase the electric vehicles, and we can easily correlate it with this table. That in the table we clearly see that Maharashtra, which is having the highest electric vehicle sales, also the PCS means the public charging station are also high. So let's move on the inside number 4. Which state of India is ideal to start the manufacturing unit? So according to my analysis, when we come to manufacturing the electric vehicle, several factors need to be considered, such as the government support, infrastructure, and the skilled labor. And according to my analysis, Gujarat and Maharashtra, these two cities are very good environment to start our manufacturing unit. So let's move on the inside number 5. Who should be the brand ambassador for the AtliQ Motors and why? So, according to my analysis, 𝙊𝙧𝙤𝙬𝙀 is considered as the excellent brand ambassador for several reasons. So, first reason is the wide appeal. 𝙊𝙧𝙤𝙬𝙀 is one of India's popular and loved actor with a massive fan base across the world, and also his popularity helps to endorse the EV brand which he adores. And the second reason is the influence. 𝙊𝙧𝙤𝙬𝙀 endorsement can create a public opinion, and it influence people to purchase the EV. He also known for his influencing figure. And the third one is the positive image. 𝙊𝙧𝙤𝙬𝙀 is known for his image of success and modernity, which also align well with the innovative and eco-friendly image of electric vehicles. And the fourth one is the increased reach, or his support helps the brand to reach more people, even those who don't consider EV before. So all over, 𝙊𝙧𝙤𝙬𝙀's association with the electric motors helps them to boost his visibility and credibility in Indian market. So let's move on the recommendation. So the first recommendation from my side is to acquire small EV manufacturing companies, because when we acquire a small manufacturer, it save our infrastructure costs, and also small MSME need a fund in their initial stage. So if we acquire them, so it create a positive impression in Indian audience as well, and it increase the revenue indirect. And the second recommendation is to manufacture EV part in India, because recently the government of India allocated a 65,000 crore in PLI scheme. This PLI scheme provides extra benefit to the company who manufacture EV parts in India. So it's all over reduce the cost of manufacturing EV component in India. So it's a good sign for the AtliQ Motors. And the third recommendation is to expand the charging infrastructure. Here, to expand your charging infrastructure, we collaborate with the local entity and also start those cities which having a high revenue in ourselves. And the fourth recommendation is to improve after sales services. If we satisfy our customer with our after sales services, our customer recommend our product to his loved ones, and the word of mouth of a customer will reduce our marketing and advertisement expenses. So that's all about this presentation. And I would like to thank Mr. Dhaval sir and Hemal sir and entire Codebasics team for giving me opportunity to improve my analytical skill while working on project like this. And the one watching this presentation, thank you for listening me. Can you give a little favor for me? Please pin down the area where I can improve myself, because it's very important for me. And that's all about this presentation. I will see you in the next presentation. Bye bye.